Hello, everybody out there in the wide world of sports and internet and everything else. Good evening. This is your host, T Will, coming to you at 12:24 at night. We're talking a little Braves baseball. Essentially, we're talking what they did tonight, where they are, where they're going, and what it's going to take to get there. Show will probably be about 30 minutes, no more than 45. And hey, just wanted to hang with you guys tonight. So, with that being said, you know how we do on this show. We got to cue the music. Hello, sports fans. How is everyone doing? Hopefully, all is well tonight and everyone is doing okay. Today, we are talking Braves baseball, specifically what happened tonight, what it means going forward, and just the landscape as to the current season and where we are going. And as it is 12:26 in the evening, let's get to it. So, we got the Braves versus the Reds tonight, 9/18/24. Braves won 7-1. Okay. It's a good thing. Came out, handled their business, did what they needed to do. Braves are presently 9 games behind the Phillies with 10 games left. So the Phillies' magic number is probably 3 because they are 7 in front of the Mets, which is a good thing for us because we are 2 games behind the Mets in the all-important wild card race, which is the only thing we have left. We are relegated to the wild card right now because we don't have a snowball's chance and you know where of winning the division. So at this point, right now, as far as the wild card is concerned, it's the San Diego Padres, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the New York Mets. And the New York Mets are 2 games ahead of us, really, and the Diamondbacks. And so we need a combination of 3 wins and the Mets 2 losses. Essentially, we need to win more than the Mets do by the end of the season. We have 10 games left, and if we're going to make the playoffs, we're going to have to do it. Now, there's some good things that are ahead of us that if we take advantage of, we'll be okay. Number 1, the Mets have to play 4 with the Phillies. The Phillies' magic number is 3. So the Phillies are going to be motivated to win that series and move forward into the playoffs. Because it's different if the Phillies had already won the division. Now they have nothing to play for. Well, with the exception of the best record. But the Phillies are going to be motivated, so that's a good thing. Because we need the Mets to lose 4 in a row. We need to win 4 in a row. Essentially, we just need to win more than they do. We also play the Mets next week. So when all is said and done, our destiny is still within our hands, but we need to continue winning. That's very important. Very important. Now, let's look at Marcell Ozuna's accomplishment. Marcell Ozuna reached 100 RBIs tonight, and he is the 13th player in Braves history to do so consecutively, meaning he hit 100 RBIs last season and 100 RBIs this season. Well, what's RBI? For those of you who don't know, an RBI is runs batted in. So he batted in 100 runs last season. He's batted in 100 runs this season. And you know what? That contract is looking pretty good. We're paying him $16 million. There's some outfielders making $20+ million. So what looked like an albatross around our necks a few years ago is really turned out to be a great contract because let's be real, Marcell Ozuna has carried the Braves this year. right? So it's a good thing. All right. Now, players of the game. I think Ozuna went 3 for 4 and had a home run. So he was on one tonight. Schwellenbach, our pitcher, pitched for 6 innings, only allowed 1 run. And Michael Harris went 1 for 5, but he hit a homer. So those are my players of the game. If you watch the game, I don't know, maybe you have a different opinion. If you do, join the chat and let me know how you feel. But either way, those are the players for tonight's game. All right. Stats of the game. And I think we kind of went over this, but essentially, again, Harris went 1 for 5. Soler didn't really do much tonight, although he's been a lot better as of late. Eli White replaced him. Eli got a hit. Ozuna went 3 for 4. Olsen went 2 for 4. He's coming around. Laureano went 1 for 4. And Gio Urshela, who is outstanding defensively. I think the Braves, from a defensive perspective, have the best shortstop and third baseman in the league. I would argue anybody to take me on and show me differently, but I really do. And Schwellenbach went six innings and pitched 1 earned run. So all in all, good night for the Braves, good night for the pitching staff, and they did relatively well. All right, so tomorrow's game, Braves versus Reds at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And essentially, let's get to it. So let's get to the state of the Braves. The Braves have 10 games to go, right? They are 2 games behind the New York Mets for the last wild card spot. They have 3 games left with the Mets. And as far as I'm concerned, we need to win all 10. Because guess what? If we win all 10, there's no doubt about it. We've beaten them. We're in it. There's nothing they can do to stop us. That's where we are. Challenges. Well, of course, we have the injuries. Austin Riley is out essentially for the season. Good news is Ozzie is coming back probably Friday. Now, Ozzie will hit exclusively right-handed, which is a little different. He's been a switch hitter his entire life, which means when he's facing a right-handed pitcher, he hits left-handed. When he's facing a left-handed pitcher, he hits right-handed. Well, because of the injury to his wrist, he can only hit right-handed right now, which means he's really not used to seeing right-handed pitching from the right side. Not at the major league level. He's done it a couple of times, but those have been against knuckleballers or guys who throw really slow, right? So this will be a challenge, but he is coming back Friday. I'm assuming Ozzie's going to start. What that means for Whit Merrifield, don't know. Merrifield is playing right now with a broken foot or a fractured foot, essentially. So he can't run in the outfield. Does that mean you place him at third base and he replaces Gio Urshela? I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. Merrifield is batting .240 with the Braves, or essentially .239, .240 with the Braves. Urshela is batting, if he's batting .220, that's I think that's the highest he's batting right now. .220, maybe .220 or a little below. So right now, Merrifield is a better hitter, but Urshela is by far the better defender, right? So you got Ozzie back. Maybe you trade, again, Ozzie will give you decent defense. He can hit home runs. He can hit for power. I don't know what Brian Snitker is going to do. He may play Merrifield the first, 4 or 5 innings of the game and put in Urshela for defense because, again, Merrifield is a better hitter. I don't know how Merrifield's defense is at third base, though. So I don't know. I know he can play all over the diamond. So he literally, I think, can play all infield spots and the corner outfield spots. I don't know that he can play catcher. So you could plug him in at third. And if he's, if he's hitting much better than Urshela, I think you have to, because at this point, the Braves need to score runs, right? Our pitching staff is great. We have low ERAs, but we need to score runs. So I don't know if you will see some combination of Ozzie and Merrifield in the lineup, or if Brian Snitker will stay with Urshela and ride it out. Not really sure about that one. We will see. Other than that, the only thing that concerns me, basically, our pitching staff. I'd like to see AJ Smith-Shawver brought up and Hurston Waltrip brought up and put in the bullpen. And when Ronaldo Lopez comes back, I'd like to put him in the bullpen. Because I think if you're going to win in the playoffs with this iteration of the Braves, you're going to win with pitching. You're going to dominate teams with pitching. You're going to blow them away. And I think those three gentlemen give us the best shot to win. Now, again, Reynaldo Lopez has a sprained shoulder. We may not see him again this year. Because when you start to talk shoulder and you start to talk pitching, that's not always the best combination. That's not always a good thing to hear. That's not a quick and easy thing to get over when you talk about shoulder tightness. So if he's 15 days away, right? Does he start getting ready at 5 days? Is he really ready come day 15, or do we have to extend him a little bit? So he may or may not be ready if we make the wild card for that wild card series. If he is, you only need 3 pitchers. I suggest you deploy him out of the bullpen because he only makes that bullpen better. And I just feel like that would give us the best chance to win. I think there are a couple of guys on our bullpen that I'd like to see go, a la Luke Jackson. And there's another guy we brought up. I can't think of his name, but if you could replace those 2 guys with AJ Smith-Shawver and Hurston Waltrip, and when you bring back Raylo, I think that's the best version of the 2024 Braves available right there. So if you can use those guys appropriately, I think you have a shot because the Braves, again, they have the best pitching staff and the best ERA in the league. And if you're going to win, that's how you're going to win. You're going to have to pitch your way out of series. You're going to have to hit when you can, where you can, how you can. You're going to have to be scrappy and score runs when it's there. So when you got runners on third and less than 2 outs, you can't strike out. You got to make contact, whether that's bunt, put the ball in the air. You got to score runs. But realistically, if we're going to win, this team's got to pitch, and you got to have the best pitching available. In short, your pitching has to be perfect, right? You can't have lapses in the bullpen. You know what I mean? Look, out of 8 guys in our bullpen, I'm really comfortable with 6. But, you could make it better, and that's my point. If you're going to advance in the playoffs, that's the way you're going to have to do it, And my humble opinion, that's the only way you're going to do it is if you do that. And with this current bullpen, you do have a few weak spots. Now, again, that doesn't mean you can't win. That doesn't mean you won't win. All right. I don't play baseball. I'm not the manager. I watch it. I've been watching it for damn near 50 years. But, again, from what I see, just from the naked eye, I'm not comfortable with Luke Jackson going into the playoffs. I'm just not. I won't be. I'm not. Even when he gets out of it, it's like a heart attack on a screen. It's like this guy takes you through anxiety just watching him, and it's always a high wire act. And, I don't want to see bottom of the 9th Luke Jackson or, extra innings, 10th, 11th innings, Luke Jackson facing the Phillies. Luke Jackson against Bryce Harper. I'm not here for that. I'm not trying to see that because, there's an 80-90% chance Harper's going to go yard. So, or take him deep, hit a home run, whatever appropriate colloquialism you want to use for it. I just don't think it'd be a good thing for the Braves. So just my thoughts on it. I would love to welcome yours. Other than that, that's about it for tonight's show. This is going to be a very quick recap. Just kind of wanted to go over the Braves, where we are, what we're doing, where we're going. I may do this again tomorrow night. I may not, just depends. But again, for the folks that did join the show, thank you. Really appreciate that. And hey, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, and let's see where this goes. I can be reached at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. So that's the number 4, My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. I'll put it in the chat so you can see it. Actually, you know what? I'll bring it up on the banner so you can see it. And that is For My ATL Sports 1 at YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. I will also put it in the chat. That is For My ATL Sports 1. Doesn't have to be capitalized. I just did that for dramatic effect. But like I say, thank you for joining me, those fans of you who did. And hey, look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Again, For My ATL Sports 1. Like, share, and subscribe. We talk Braves here. We talk Falcons. We talk Hawks every now and then. So just make this your one-stop shop for Atlanta sports. And hey, I will see you again. Again, to those who joined, thank you for joining tonight. Really appreciate it. Again, shout outs. Hey, shout out to you guys. Shout out to God. Wouldn't be here without him. And last but not least, hey, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Go Braves. Thanks. Goodbye. Wow. Lamar says good night, Marvin. Good night, Lamar. Again, thanks for the microphone. I know you can't see it, but I am using it just so you know. So, hey, man, really appreciate the microphone. Classy thing to do as always, and I would expect nothing less from you, brother. And hey, man, appreciate you joining me tonight. And yeah, Mo, if you're up to it, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, my brother. Good night, all the fans out there, and you guys have a great day. Thank you. Goodbye.